All right. I've been reading a book called The Master Key System. I've read 1 through 9 on Facebook, but I found out you cannot organize them into playlists, so I'm going to start from 10 here. If I can embed them here, I will. If not, I'll have to read 1 through 9 again because organization is good. The reason why I'm doing this is to share with others and to practice my diction reading aloud. Okay, the Master Key System, Part 10. Oh, by the way, I don't really care about the video being that good. Stoop down a little bit so you can see me. Alright, enough of that superficial stuff. The main key is the audio. In essence, I'm creating audio books here, which me or anyone else can listen to at their leisure. The Master Key System. Part 10. If you get a thorough understanding of the thought contained in Part 10, you will have learned that nothing happens without a definite cause. You will be enabled to formulate your plans in accordance with exact knowledge. You will know how to control any situation to bring adequate causes into play. When you win, as you will know exactly why. The ordinary man who has no definite knowledge of cause and effect is governed by his feelings or emotions. He thinks chiefly to justify his action. If he fails as a businessman, he says that luck is against him. If he dislikes music, he says that music is an expensive luxury. If he is a poor office man, he says that he should succeed better at some outdoor work. If he lacks friends, he says his individuality is too fine to be appreciated. He never thinks his problem through to the end. In short, he does not know that every effect is the result of a certain definite cause, but he seeks to console himself with explanations and excuses. He thinks only in self-defense. On the contrary, the man who understands that there is no effect without an adequate cause thinks impersonally. He gets down to bedrock facts regardless of consequences. He is free to follow the trail of truth wherever it may lead. He sees the issue clear to the end, and he meets the requirements fully and fairly. And the result is that the world gives him all that it has to give in friendship, honor, love, and approval. Number 1. Abundance is a natural law of the universe. The evidence of this law is conclusive, and we see it on every hand. Everywhere, nature is lavish, wasteful, extravagant. Nowhere is economy observed in anything created. Profusion is manifested in everything. The millions and millions of trees and flowers and plants and animals and the vast scheme of reproduction where the process of creating and recreating is forever going on, all indicate the lavishness with which nature has made provision for man. That there is an abundance for everyone is evident, but that many fail to participate in this abundance is also evident. That they have not yet come into a realization of the universality of all substance, and that mind is the active principle whereby we are related to the things we desire. Number 2, all wealth is the offspring of power. Possessions are of value only as they confer power. Events are significant only as they affect power, and all things represent certain forms and degrees of power. 3, knowledge of cause and effect as shown by the laws governing electricity, chemical affinity, and gravitation enables man to plan courageously and execute fearlessly. These laws are called natural laws because they govern in the physical world, but all power is not physical power, and there is also mental power, and there is moral and spiritual power. Number 4, spiritual power is superior because it exists on a higher plane. It has enabled man to discover the law by which these wonderful forces of nature could be harnessed and made to do the work of hundreds and thousands of men. It has enabled man to discover laws whereby time and space have been annihilated and the law of gravitation to be overcome. The operation of this law is dependent upon spiritual contact, as Henry German Wells says. In the physical world as we know it, there exists the organic and the inorganic. The inorganic of the mineral world is absolutely cut off from the plant or animal world, and the passage is hermetically sealed. These barriers have never been yet crossed. No change of substance, no modification of environment, no chemistry, no electricity, no form of energy, no evolution of any kind can ever endow a single atom of the mineral world with the attribute of life. Number 6, only by the bending down into this dead world of some living form can those dead atoms be gifted with the properties of vitality. And without this contact with life, they remain fixed in the inorganic sphere forever. Huxley says that the doctrine of biogenesis, or life only from life, is victorious all along the line, and Tyndall is compelled to say, I affirm that no shred of trustworthy evidence exists to prove that life in our day has ever appeared independent of antecedent life. 7, physical laws may explain the inorganic. Biology explains and accounts for the development of the organic, but of the point of contact, science is silent. A similar passage exists between the natural world and the spiritual world. This passage is hermetically sealed on the natural side. The door is closed, and no man can open it. No organic change, no mental energy, no moral effort, no progress of any kind can enable any human being to enter the spiritual world. 8. Okay, I think that was the end of the quote. 8. But as the plant reaches down into the mineral world and touches it with the mystery of life, so the universal mind reaches down into the human mind and endows it with new, strange, wonderful, and even marvelous qualities. All men or women who have ever accomplished anything in the world of industry, commerce, or art have accomplished because of this process. 9. Thought is the connecting link between the infinite and the finite. Between the universal and the individual, we have seen that there is an impassable barrier between the organic and the inorganic, and that the only way the matter can unfold is to be impregnated with life. As a seed reaches down into the mineral world and begins to unfold and reach out, the dead matter begins to live. 1,000 invisible fingers begin to weave a suitable environment for the new arrival, and as the law of growth begins to take effect, we see the process continue until the lily finally appears. And even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. 10. Even so, a thought is dropped into the invisible substance of the universal mind, that substance from which all things are created. And as it takes root, the law of growth begins to take effect, and we find that conditions and environment are but the objective form of our thought. 11. The law is that thought is an active, vital form of dynamic energy which has the power to correlate with its object and bring it out of the invisible substance from which all things are created into the visible or objective world. This is the law by which and through which all things come to manifestation. It is the master key by which you are admitted into the secret place of the Most High and are given dominion over all things. With the understanding of this law, you may decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. 12. It could not be otherwise. And if the soul of the universe as we know it is the universal spirit, then the universe is simply the condition which the universal spirit has made for itself. We are simply individualized spirit and are creating the conditions for our growth in exactly the same way. 13. This creative power depends upon our recognition of the potential power of spirit and mind and must not be confused with evolution. Creation is the calling into existence of that which does not exist in the objective world. Evolution is simply the unfolding of potentialities involved in things which already exist. 14. In taking advantage of the wonderful possibilities open to us through the operation of this law, we must remember that we ourselves contribute nothing to its efficacy. As the great teacher said, it is not I that doeth the works, but the Father that dwelleth in me. He doeth the works. We must take exactly the same position. We can do nothing to assist in the manifestation. We simply comply with the law, and the all-originating mind will bring about the result.